OKC ready for those moments when Dallas is able to switch and flow and keep the ball in front and make sure that things are a little bit slower tempo-wise for the Thunder, that things aren't as easy for the Thunder to get to that driving kick, that there's a wall in front of them. Just the help them recover aspect is going to be fun to force OKC to execute in the half court.
Yeah, like that's going to be an important background. Like as you flowed to the matchups, I remember going back through the matchups both last night and a little bit this morning. Like thinking that February 10th matchup when, again, Dallas just blew OKC out the water. And that felt like the loudest, holy crap, the Mavericks. You might want to keep an eye on them type statement game. I think it was Josh Green getting Shea and Derrick Jones Jr. was on Chet in that game. So they could just turn those into switches and kind of flatten OKC out in that way. This, I guess I'll go ahead and spoil my X Factor. Like this is going to be a big series for Josh Giddey. Because like one of the quieter storylines, post All-Star break was Giddey knocking down shots from the perimeter, and not just knocking down shots from the perimeter, but just taking shots in rhythm. There wasn't really any hesitation there when he was spaced. If he is able to be used as a hub, if he's able to be used as a screener, and ultimately if he knocks down enough shots while being spaced, I don't know what the threshold is for him offensively to where Dallas feels like they need to switch the matchups and kind of go away from like Gafford or insert center here on Giddey. But like he has at least shown over an extended sample at this point, I will make enough to where we can just win this game because I made enough in addition to these stars doing the thing. Like he had, a 23-point game against New Orleans in the first round series. And so like I am really intrigued to see just what that's going to look like offensively for him. Like first possession of the game might just be Giddey initiates, they get into their stagger stuff with Shea and Jalen and Chet, and Shea loops around, comes back up. They have all the fun from there. So we'll see. Dallas is switching on ball, obviously going to play a big part in this one. They're switching off the ball is going to have to be on point. Because more than the Clippers, like these guys will cut. They will slip.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers, you switch, you bog them down. That's just kind of it. And then they can still win because of the shot making talent. But OKC would just get out of there. And like something that we've talked about all year long, the different angles that OKC will set their screens with. I've been talking all year about they will just literally use anyone as a screener. So that part's going to be fun. Like, I can't wait till we get some of the hybrid second units. You have Isaiah Joe setting an off-ball screen for Shea and seeing how Dallas plays with that way. Like there are a lot of things for Dallas to have to sort through here. So that defensive communication is going to have to be clean.
Off-ball screen or, stack pick and roll where Isaiah Joe, now you see me, now you don't. Here
I'm
I
on
go.
that wing now.
I'll quickly spoil. I had a couple more questions. I'll quickly spoil my X factor for the Thunder. Cason Wallace.
I like this one. Do tell.
I've been thinking about they're going to need him in this series on both ends of the floor. At some point, OKC is going to have to find a lineup to where there's limited help points, or we feel more comfortable with the help points, or we feel we can make you pay. And I think Cason Wallace, this might be his type of series. Just because Lu Dort's going to play. Like him and Luka, he's going to be right there fighting Luka. It's one of my favorite matchups to watch just because of the activity versus Luka just casually stepping back and making shots. That's always fun. But I think they're going to need Cason Wallace to balance things out for them, knock down some shots, drive some closeouts, and his ability to, he's taking the Luka matchup. He can go defend Kyrie. That can help OKC on that end of the floor. So I think this is a Cason Wallace series. I think at some point he's going to shine for them.
Okay. While we're on the bench, can I hit you with like 2 free throw adjacent questions?
Yeah.
Who do you trust more to have a positive impact in this series? Isaiah Joe or Tim Hardaway Jr.?
That's interesting. That's interesting framing on that one. I would probably say Tim Hardaway Jr. has the higher ceiling and may become more important considering they lost Maxi Kleber. I'm gonna go Joe because the 3-point shooting is there, and OKC can generate shots for him.
Okay,
but
I
do think Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to have an impact on this series.
Okay, and then similarly, who do you trust to have a positive impact in the series more? Gordon Hayward or Dante Exum?
Oh man, that how you've it's gonna have to be it's Dante Exum for me.
Okay.
I think Gordon Hayward took a shot in the last playoff series, a singular one. So it's drive and it's not even drive. What's the enhanced version of drive and kick? But just shorten it.
Drive and kick push. But no, the Hayward's acquisition has not hit the way that I thought it would. Not that he still can't have an impact in this series. Like he still has the skill set to puncture Dallas's defense and just to be able to capitalize on some of the opportunities created for him. Would like for him to be a little bit more aggressive. So I just wanted to toss those at you.
No, I see what you did. Well done. Salute to you. Good job. A receipt will be coming your way. No worries. I just think this is the other flip side of Hayward joining the Thunder midseason, to where you saw what the ceiling could be, but part of it was the bonus was they didn't need him. So as he's working to fit in and work into what the Thunder do, a specific style of play, we want you to help us. We think you could help us, but if it's not working, we have other options. So, that's kind of the give and take.
Okay. I have another question for you, which kind of bleeds into my X Factor thing, but I'll toss it at you either way. We talked about OKC's rebounding earlier in the year. We talked about the rebounding last year as well, but we talked about OKC's rebounding earlier in the year. We ended up getting a mailbag question post All-Star break because OKC had quietly drastically improved their defensive rebounding in particular. How do you feel about their ability to end possessions heading into this series with Dallas?
I feel fine.
You feel fine?
Yeah, they've done a really good job of rebounding as a team. Well, what say you, sir?
This feels like one of the bigger swing factors of the series, honestly. Because while OKC has improved, like this is probably where Daniel Gafford has loomed the largest, or it looms the largest in terms of just the impact he can have on this one. Because more than we put him on Josh Giddey, he can roam around the rim, block some shots. Obviously important. His ability to just play volleyball after missed shots, like that's something that really popped in that February matchup, to where OKC just did not have an answer for him. And I want to say the March matchup without Luka as well. They were just very Kyrie heavy. But I want to say in both of those, a lot of offensive rebounds for Dallas. And I do wonder, like, how many games that can swing. Either Daniel Gafford just has like 17 and 12 with 5 offensive rebounds and Dallas wins, or OKC does such a good job of game rebounding that we don't have one of those games from Daniel Gafford. And now this series is more lopsided in favor of OKC than even Thunder enthusiasts anticipated, because Dallas can't win the possession battle. So like I feel okay about it. I would have my brow raised if I'm a Thunder fan, a Thunder enjoyer, because Gafford can just do that. And if you're getting more Derek Lively, he's also someone that is, again, not the biggest body, but he is tall. He has the length, and he is certainly a gold pogo stick for the 2K watchers in here. Like, this could be where if the jumper doesn't come back for Luka, which sounds funny considering how many shots he's made, but like if Luka doesn't have the efficient 3-point shooting series, or if Kyrie doesn't have the true breakout from 3, there is still a pathway for Dallas to score efficiently and to score a bunch if they're just able to get a bunch of extra opportunities. So that feels like a very, let's see what game 1 looks like. Let's see who's really up for that particular challenge. Which I guess from there flows into Daniel Gafford being my biggest Dallas X factor. Like I was between him. I initially had PJ Washington down because I think he's going to see Chet. He's going to see Shea, either as far as either him getting the matchup outright or because he's going to be switching on to Shea. That's going to be important for PJ. But man, Gafford, the lob threat that he is, the offensive rebounder threat that he is, the weak side rim protector that he can be, he can just affect so many things at the rim. And as we've talked a lot about OKC, the drives, the screens, even the way that they fly around defensively, so much of that is built around we want to win the paint. With our drives, we want to win the paint. With these doubles on these post-ups, we want to make sure you're not getting into the paint or getting to the free throw line.